Hello, hello, and welcome back to Password. We're still just kind of lounging with Sal. You know how it is. For the rest of the afternoon, Sal and I just lounged around in the hot tub. There wasn't really anything more to be said here, but it was relaxing enough. A few times I thought he'd fallen asleep, but no. He was just lounging there, looking thoughtful. Leaving enough time to get changed before dinner, I took the medal up with me and stashed it in my room. I could show the others later. Okay. Okay, sure. I trudged out of the dining room towards the stairs, reaching the bottom before I heard the footsteps behind me. Oh, hey Sal. He was fidgeting on the spot, playing with his hands and keeping his gaze averted. Is everything alright?
Yes.
That's good.
Right.
I gave him a look, trying to figure out what was up. The only thing I noticed was that whenever I tried to catch his eye, he shifted. It's somewhere else. Well, I was gonna go to bed, maybe. Maybe that's lounge around. Maybe just lounge around and watch things on my phone.
Oh. Alright, I understand. Sorry to bother you.
Sal scurried back towards the dining room, leaving me behind. Something seemed off, although I had very little to actually go off. As I got changed into a pair of sleeping shorts, I checked my phone, charged, undoing my mistake from from the night before. Rolling onto my back, I started to flick through my apps, old photos, and messages. Talking with Sal was bringing things back up, leaving a bitter taste in the back of my throat. I hovered over my voicemail again, contemplating listening to the message again before deflating. With a sigh, I dropped my phone next to me and shut off the light before returning to bed and looking to get some sleep. I was restless, tossing and turning for what seemed like an hour before I found myself awake. Huh? I strained my ears to listen. I heard something, but I wasn't sure what. As I went to look behind me, I heard shuffling, the faintest creak coming from my bedroom door as it closed shut. Who's there? I peered over my shoulder and saw Sal standing awkwardly by the door. Not that it made me any less on edge, but he seemed to be fidgeting, much like he was when I met him on the stairs. Sal?
Yes. Sorry. I could, go if that's better.
Sitting up now, that I was much more awake than I wanted to be, I rubbed my eyes. What time is it? What's wrong? He mumbled, shuffling on the spot. Sal, if you're going to come into my room, at least come over so I don't have to call out to you. And so he did, shuffling closer. So, what was what was it you said?
I'm scared.
It wasn't the answer I was expecting, but it made me blink. I wondered what it was what it was specifically he was scared about, but he continued.
If I sleepwalk and something goes wrong.
Is that likely?
Well, no. But can I sleep with you? Sorry, I understand. Forget it.
No, wait. I reached out for Sal as he turned to go. Stay.
All right.
He climbed onto the bed and sat there for a bit, seemingly mulling things over. Was it just trouble sleeping? He rubbed the back of his head, sighing out.
There are other things. But it's, not really important.
But it was important enough to come into my room in the middle of the night.
Whoa, right, well. True, alright. I didn't, share too much today, did I? I feel like openly sharing what I did, or rather.
He trailed off, glancing at me to see if I was going to fill in the blanks for him, so I nod, letting him continue.
Anyway, I feel like doing that was what that may have affected me more than I thought it would. It's a time like this that I feel like it'd be nice to cry. But alas,
You can't cry?
no, physically I can't cry. It seems like it'd be nice.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I don't cry anymore.
Do hyenas grow out the ability?
Oh, no, it's less that and more, I guess I'm all cried out.
But what if something bad happened? Would you cry then?
I hope so, but maybe only so I'd feel normal. I get sad still, but it takes a lot to make me that upset.
Like if Orlando died or Roswell?
Well, not if Roswell died. I'm sorry, guys. Those are very specific guesses.
Really?
I just assumed.
That I'd say Tyson. No, I feel like that's more complicated. But Orlando and Roswell are your best friends, right?
Ah, well, you see,
Don't worry, I won't tell them. But honestly, I think it's fine if you have more than one. But still, I think I've just made myself sad and wondered if it'd help if I had someone nearby that understand. Orlando means well, but he's a bit naive, too warm and happy to really understand.
well, that's, I guess.
No, I didn't mean it like that. Just, you're more comfortable, like a teddy bear.
Oh, okay. I chuckled nervously. Do you mean comforting, or?
No, I was just thinking back to the other night. You're lighter, softer, better to cuddle with. I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but I enjoyed the other night.
Sal continued to sit there, once again keeping his gaze averted. I wondered if he wanted me to make the first move here, or just outright invite him into bed. Sal, did you?
Perhaps. You don't mind, do you?
Not really. I like getting cuddles in. I'm all about the cuddles.
So as long as you know that for me, you're not just someone to get cuddles from.
Would that be so bad?
Well, no, but talking is probably better here.
We could do both.
Is that okay? I do like cuddles as well. It regulates my body heat.
I shifted across to make room next to me on the bed while Sal crawled over, slipping under the covers and sitting beside me for a moment.
Thank you.
No sooner than he was under the covers, he did yawn, rubbing his eyes, much like I did when he woke me up. Are you gonna be okay, Sal?
Eventually. Eventually. Likely come morning.
Is there anything I can do?
No, this is enough. Besides, it's only for tonight. Tomorrow might be different. We'll see.
Well, just let me know, alright? Maybe next time, if you want some cuddles, cuddle company, let me know before I fall asleep.
Alright, sorry. I just...
Sal slipped further down the covers and held the blanket just under his chin. The beds were big, but with Sal's size, he was already taking up most of the length. Comfy? He rumbled in affirmation, shooting me a look, lifting up the blanket. What are you doing?
Would you,
Rub your front?
No.
Then
Remember, the other night.
you want me to sleep on you? Is that more comfortable?
It's comfortable for me. If it was comfortable for you.
It was It was for sure a new experience. Sal was a lot bigger than anyone else. I knew, and being able to just use him as a mattress was a new experience. Not a bad one, just different. As I slid down under the covers, I edged closer, nuzzling my head under his neck and throwing a leg over his waist. As if that wasn't enough, Sal snaked a hand under me, adjusting me so that I was more on top. He yawned again and patted my head carefully, prompting me to yawn in kind. Maybe it was just the fatigue catching up with me, and he was comfy. Before I knew it, he was asleep, his whole body rising and falling in time with his breaths. Why was Sal so hard to figure out? Sometimes it was like looking at a much bigger, scalier version of myself. Other times it was as if he was someone with so much more worldly experience. Maybe it was because it seems he was two people in one, and that made me confused. I nestled into his neck, listening to this faint thrumming coming from him as he slept. It wasn't long until I too felt myself drift off fast asleep. My mind still racing, trying to figure out the enigma I was sleeping on top of. There's my water bottle. Okay. This conversation. Good. I like it. Why'd I put the cap on this water? The room around me shifted in time with Sal's breathing. The slow rise and fall of his breath with me on top made it seem as though I was rocking gently on the ocean. I dare not move straight, despite the size difference. Sal had a hand on my butt. Oh. And I was lazily draped over him to keep me from falling off entirely. Even when asleep, he was trying to follow through with his want to protect, even if that was just to try to stop me from falling the last inch between me and the mattress. When I shifted to get off of him, he grunted and let his arm fall away so I could move. It didn't seem like he was awake, so I took the chance to get out of bed. Okay. But wait, how did you know about Sal?
I have my ways. Poor guy lumbers around and isn't so stealthy as he thinks he's being.
Okay. Huh? Okay. Whoops. Stepping on shit. Oh well. I watched as Sal exited the house and came to stand by me. He didn't say anything at first, scratching the back of his head awkwardly. When I didn't say anything else, he took the initiative.
Good morning. Did you sleep all right?
Yeah, it was nice. The faintest tinge of red crosses Sal's scales as he processed what I'd said.
Why are you up so early?
Oh, just had a lot on my mind. What about you?
I woke up and you weren't there. I was worried.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to wake you.
It's fine. I was just concerned.
It's fine, promise. I just needed some time to think about a decision.
Is it a hard decision?
Not really. I'm fairly certain I know what I want to do, but it's not going to be easy.
Can I help?
Not really. I just had I wasn't sure if I should be bringing this up to Sal, knowing how tender it was for myself, let alone how well he'd take it. Let's just say I had a dream that gave me some strength.
No, I think I understand.
As the sun started to rise over the trees, Sal put an arm briefly over my shoulder as we watched it rise. He was quiet, but in a way that just made things easier. I felt as though Sal understood.
If I could help. If I can help, you only need to say the word, okay?
Really? He mumbled an affirmation before stepping away.
You got a kind heart, Dave. That's worth protecting.
Well, I hope I can repay the favor someday, Sal.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
What are you going to do now that you're up? Is it time for the morning swim?
No, not this morning, I think. I might go have a longer sleep.
That's unlike you. I thought you were all for getting an early start. Sal chuckled, shaking his head and shooting me a smile.
Resting is important too. Don't forget to rest if you need it.
At the rate I'm going, I think I might just wait until it's time for coffee. With a nod, Sal wandered back inside, shakily at first before finding his balance. I wondered who was protecting who. Sal was big and straddled, right? Right? That fine line between protector and someone that needed protecting. Maybe that's why we had some sort of understanding. Watching the sun rise higher in the morning sky for a little longer, I let my mind wander. A couple of minutes later, and I figured that there was no better time for coffee if I was going to stay up rather than follow Sal's lead and getting some additional sleep. Okay. Looking over my shoulder, I saw the freezer and I frowned, thinking back to what I'd seen. How had Sal ended up in there? Why? Was it the sleepwalking? Now that I thought about what he had told me to do, he didn't make much sense, did it? It didn't make much sense, did it? Especially what he'd said in the greenhouse as well. If someone wanted him dead. I shook my head, trying to keep my thoughts focused on the coffee. Coffee first, investigating the death conspiracies afterwards. Even just thinking about it, in the way made me feel a little crazy. It was enough to make me wonder just how much my friends believed me on this, and how much was, well, really just in my head. Yeah, I'll prepare breakfast. Oh, what happened to taking your nap? Sal shot Orlando a quick look before turning back to me. His voice was hushed, and he seemed to choose his words carefully.
I had another distraction this morning that prevented me from sleeping in. Oh, I didn't realize that you hadn't been sleeping well, Sal. I'm sorry. It's fine. Things have been getting very busy lately.
I laughed, scratching the back of my head, and gave Sal a wry smile. Well, worst case scenario, you could always have a nap later. Sal grumbled, half shaking his head, but left the comment there. As far as I could tell, he seemed resolved to stay awake now. Okay. Sal snuck a glance at Dean before looking away. His hand found my shoulder, and he looked at Dean, addressing him directly.
I mentioned something to Dave to make him worry.
To make him worry? Okay, that's a weird phrasing, but...
Perhaps it's best if I go talk to him about it.
Can always just talk it out here, right?
Not this stuff. It's a bit sensitive. Private.
Sal stood up. He eased me up with him, so we could be standing beside the table. With a nod to Dean, he led the way out of the foyer. Silently, the pair of us made our way towards the foyer. Towards the back of the door, so we were far enough away from the dining room for some level of privacy. Sal's hands trembled once we were in the clear, looking me over.
You're not doing too well, are you?
I'm really scared, Sal.
Do you need my help?
Maybe. I don't know. His hands felt still as they landed on my shoulders, kneading them gently.
I will protect you. Just tell me how.
I don't know, Sal.
Is it a matter of trust?
No, no, not that. Just. I sighed out, slumping under Sal's hand. I had a dream about my dad last night. It.
Ma, I think I understand. You're hurting.
Maybe.
Dave, let me help you.
Okay, but I don't know what. I don't know what I'm meant to be doing.
Well, let's start with your dream. What was it that you had to decide this morning that you... Wait, what was it that you had to decide this morning that got you out of bed?
I'm worried. Ever since Benson, it's been, well, I'm worried if it's going to happen again. And if I mess with the vault again, well...
Then don't go there again.
But that's the thing. What if not going there is the problem? What if going there is the only chance to stop it from happening? Sal sighed, pulling away. He seemed to consider what I said for a few moments before he spoke again.
I don't know. Are you sure?
Well, it was, it's just what happened when we found you sleepwalking. And when Benson,
Fine. Then what do we do? I don't think we can, wait for someone to...
die?
Right. Which doesn't really help us. Doesn't really leave us with many options. We can't really, question Benson about what happened, can we?
Probably not. He seemed flattered that we went looking for a gun, as it was, but...
Then me. Not that. I really like the idea of it, but... This is the only option I can offer you.
I whined, looking to the floor. Okay, but I'll probably need time to prepare.
Then I'll come too.
Oh, I meant like having a shower to freshen up and, just maybe finding stuff to write with.
No. That's not that much of a problem.
Isn't that kind of intimate, though?
That... Oh, no, I admit. I suppose I'll just let you get ready. I didn't mean anything by it.
Right, well, I'll try not to be long. I wandered upstairs and rubbed my face the moment I stepped into my room. Oh boy. Thinking under the hot water, I wondered how best to tackle this problem. I felt somewhat safer having Sal telling me that he wanted to protect me, so that was a plus. But at the same time, I was a little scared. What if I mess this up? What if it be better to tag in someone like Roswell or Orlando to figure things out? Then again, someone was able to manipulate Sal. Did that make him more dangerous to lean on? Clean and freshly dressed, I stepped into my bedroom and got changed. My head was clear, but I wasn't ready.
Are you ready?
No! Sal! I must have zoned out, spinning around to watch him as he entered my room.
Should I come back later? You look freshly showered.
Well, yeah, but...
I'll come back later.
There's not much point now. I figured I'll just grab what I need and we can get started.
What sort of thing did you need?
Well, I figured I'd bring this along. I flashed him my journal, and I brought after I fished it out of my bag.
A book?
Yeah, I was planning on using it as maybe a scrapbook or a journal for our holiday, but, well...
But you hadn't started filling it in.
With everything going on, I just hadn't felt like it.
Right. Maybe it would have been better if we went to the beach. You could have collected some shells on from your book.
I don't think they'd stick in it all that well.
Maybe if they were small.
Plus, well, probably need a phone, just in case.
Just in case of what? We're just sticking around the mansion, aren't we?
Well, sure, but what if we decided not to?
Well, I suppose that doesn't hurt. Sure, I have mine too, just in case.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, now what?
I looked at my phone, remembering that I'd let it run out once before, and this was going to be a lifeline I should remember to keep charged. I don't really get that far. I didn't really get that far. Not outside investigating what happened to you, I guess. Sal grumbled, scratching his neck.
All right. Then that means,
Whining, I looked out the door to the bedroom. The freezer.
Right. Well,
We don't have to do this. We could do something else.
and you'd be fine with that. Or would this eat at you until the stress made you pull out your fur?
It's definitely the second one. What do you mean?
Orlando says you do it when you're upset, pulling your fur out.
Oh, yeah, I guess I do. I don't know. A bad habit I picked up, I guess.
Then, maybe when you're upset, maybe, do what Dean does.
What's that?
Dean comes to me and just tries to hug me as hard as he can. He hasn't hurt me yet, and you're much smaller, so maybe you can try that too. Don't see you hurting me anytime soon.
No sooner were the words out of his mouth did I throw my arms around him, hugging him as tight as I could. Then he slowly returned the hug, hard enough, not hard enough to hurt, but much tighter than I was used to anyone else hugging me. He was firm, less fluffy and soft than any of the others, and it was a different feeling, almost like hugging a tree. As I stepped back, I sighed out. Sal was looking down at me while with a warm smile, and I started to feel something replacing the worries. The worries I had moments before.
Feeling better and feeling any better.
A little, I think. But I still think we should try looking into things.
All right. Shall we head downstairs and get started?
I suppose so, yeah. Huh. I think I'll end the part here, so I'll see you around, everyone.